Hey, welcome back. Glad to have you here. We're going to talk about Glenda Ecleo. She passed away several months ago. Yes, that's right, Ecleo. That name is familiar because that was an occult established by her husband, Reuben Ecleo Sr. And he's been dead for some time now. Some people, especially those who are in the Philippine Benevolent Missions Association, which is the cult of Cleo, they don't consider themselves a cult, but of course that's what they actually are, because Reuben Cleo Sr. was considered some Christ-like figure, and he had the title as Divine Master. Some people put the number at one point for Philippine Benevolent Missions Association between 1 to 3 million people. I think that's a bit too much. One of the more recent figures that I saw, at least of this day, is probably more around 150,000 people. I actually have a friend here in Masbate. His dad seemed to be a part of a Cleo cult. Now, the Cleo cult, they aren't so much big into evangelism. You can kind of have any religion. It's very pluralistic. They're more into doing good works, and that is, of course, they have a false Christology, they have a false soteriology. So doing good works, make you good with God, and so on and so forth. But Reuben Ecleo Sr., um, this dude supposedly was a faith healer, supposedly resurrected people from the dead. But he was also a mayor for around almost 25 years there in Dinagat, Surigao del Norte, if I'm pronouncing all that correctly. And so he used politics, weaponized politics and religion together to get a foothold for whatever it was he was trying to accomplish. And clearly a false gospel. And when he died at the age of like 52, 53, his son, Reuben Ecleo Jr., took over. Some people in that cult believe that the spirit or something along these lines reappeared from Reuben Ecleo Sr. into Reuben Ecleo Jr., and then he became the quote unquote divine master or Christ like figure. Now, not all people in the Philippine Benevolent Missions Association necessarily, again, believe that he was the divine master, but I'm sure those who are more stationed in Dinagat Islands believe that. Those further away from Dinagat Islands might have more of a looser approach. But even the followers of Ecleo believe that they can have, amulets and stop bullets. Some of those people believe that, and they say Latin prayers, and so on and so forth. But before we get to Glenda Ecleo, she just passed away several months back. Reuben Ecleo Jr. took over for his father, and when his wife was in her 20s, he murdered his wife in Cebu City in around 2001, and posted bail. Whatever happened for a decade there, I'd have to look more into. But in 2011, 2012, or whatever, basically for over about a decade, he ran from the police. He was a fugitive for murdering his wife, and also in the mansion there in Sinagat, there was a shootout between Ecleo's people and the police, and more than a dozen people died. Like 17 or 18 people died, and all of those people died were on Ecleo's side, and one police officer. So that was a tragedy. Nearly 20 people died in that sad tragedy. Well, anyways, Ecleo says that he never committed murder, but he's charged with murder, and then he hid for about a decade. He was eventually found in Pampanga. And then he says that, he eventually got so tired of running, he wanted to give himself up. Give himself up? You got caught. You didn't give yourself up. I mean, people are so delusional. Well, Glenda Ecleo, husband of Reuben Ecleo Sr., her husband got her into politics. At first, she was very reluctant to, but then she got into politics. She also became the governor there of pretty much the island, so to speak, and she also became a congresswoman. Now, her husband also had relations and children with other women. Anyways, she just passed away several months ago. The Ecleo name, there's like 8 children that she had. The Ecleo name is still runs there in Dinagat, in Surigao, Del Norte, and there are sporadic amount of PBMA followers throughout the Philippines, but they are, believe it or not, unlike some other cults, they are open to hearing the gospel, if they're especially outside of the Dinagat Island area. So, if you get a chance, evangelize people. These people need the gospel just like anybody else. But the Ecleo family, dark, demented, and they have led hundreds of thousands of people um, away from the true Christ and into the false Christ, Reuben Ecleo Sr. and Jr. And the fruit of this satanic activity is disastrous. And so this person, no matter how much benevolent stuff that Glenda Ecleo did, no matter how nice she was satanic to the core and evil. And now there's no evidence that she ever repented of her perverse beliefs. And when she died several months ago, she found out the truth that he who has the Son has life. He who does not have the Son does not have life. Jesus is the eternal Son who added human nature, hypostatic union, one person, two natures, divine and human. She denied that Jesus and put faith in a mere creature, fallible creature, i.e., her husband, and deceive people with her son, and deceive people by using the Ecleo name for religious purposes and for political purposes. And it's really, these people need to repent, and hopefully someday I will get to go to this island and evangelize some of these people. That would be great if I got the opportunity to sit down and have a decent communication and really share the gospel to these people. Anyways, that's what just happened in the Philippines of this year. And if you like our other videos, please subscribe. Thank you for listening to us. Appreciate it.